Good morning. It's time for It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. I'm Mark Turner. There's Claire Vaughn. Debbie Legg has joined us. Good morning.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
It is a beautiful day in Fairfield, as always.
It is.
We're putting beautiful in quotation marks
Yes,
today.
exactly. That's the fun of It's a Beautiful Day in Fairfield. I don't know. You aren't from here.
Right.
So I'm not sure if you were around when
Gil Wallace.
Gil Wallace was on the radio station, and he had a show, and he would announce every morning, "It's a beautiful day in Fairfield."
okay.
And they'd have people call in, and they'd say, "Does Gil have windows in his office?" You know, like it's hailing, it's snowing, there's like a tornado warning.
Right.
And it was always a beautiful day in Fairfield. So when we came up with the idea for the show, we're like, that's a perfect little, way to look at it, because it's always a great day to be alive.
Right.
And we're lucky to be in our awesome little small town. Green Acres, as you may,
Right.
call
Right.
it.
Yeah.
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 So it's a beautiful day in Fairfield. Thank you for being here, Debbie Legg.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
I
And
feel like-
it's beautiful day is an attitude
Yes.
more than a check outside.
100%.
There we go. There's my wisdom. For
I
this morning.
love it. I get on
That's
my
probably all.
I get on my soapbox every single time at
Right.
some point, and
Right.
Your check will be in the mail.
Yeah.
There we go.
we appreciate
So
it.
what do you got going on? Man, I know you're busy all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, most of it right now is following our youngest son around. To
Well, you
all of
just
his
got
things.
back from the state
Just got back from the
basketball
state
tournament.
basketball tournament, the
How'd
pep
they do?
band. Oh, they did great. We're so proud of them. There are only like 5 bands who get to play up there, so
Right,
so
yeah.
we say we're one of the top 5 bands in the state now.
And this is
I love
the
that.
second year in a row, right?
Well, we didn't go last year, but
Didn't
we
go
went the year before.
Okay.
Yeah, so
So-
they just did great. In fact, the tech people or whoever they were said, you know what, we're just going to let you have the timeouts to play, and we'll do all of the talking things that we need to do after the game.
Love
we
that.
just kept hearing how great they were. So just wonderful to hear them.
They are amazing.
Yeah.
They really are. We're so lucky to have them.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
are.
and we love it. Here's your little plug or brown nose or whatever. We love it, Mule Nation, and that you guys show them on there. And
Thank you.
more than once we've been like, oh wait, what did they actually do during the halftime show?
Yeah.
And gone back and found out.
Well, we
good.
tried. I mean,
Awesome.
that's that was our thing when we put Mule Nation together.
Mm-hmm.
We wanted to showcase the band at halftime of the football
Right?
games.
Yeah.
And try to show the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And,
Right.
give kind of everyone a little bit of credit, because
Right.
and even some sports teams that maybe haven't gotten radio
Yeah.
broadcasts and stuff in
Right.
the past, like
Right.
we've done some tennis matches,
Right,
cross
yeah.
country.
Right, exactly. We've seen you
So,
guys out there. Nathan
yeah.
runs cross country. He's
yeah.
getting ready to play tennis. Not today,
Yeah.
apparently, but yeah,
I'm telling
tons
you,
of fun.
cross country is an interesting one to try to do play by play.
Right. Even to see your kid do it. It's like, I
It
think
was-
if I can stand here, maybe I'll catch a quick glimpse
Right.
before he
Yeah.
goes off in the woods. I don't
Right,
know.
we're like, what are we going to talk about, especially that first kind of lap around?
Yeah.
Because
Right.
and then they spread out and you get more people. But yeah, that first like 4 minutes,
Thank
5
goodness
minutes.
for Jake Talbert.
Yeah. Shout out to all the cross country dads, because they also beforehand, I mean, they were like giving us, stats on everyone
Yeah.
and just some filler,
And-
because
Yeah.
we don't like dead air.
No.
And even some tech help.
Yes.
You know?
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then Ryan Taylor, he
Oh,
was a
yeah.
huge help during that
Oh,
too. He's
yeah.
like, "What do you guys need? I'll bring
Right.
my truck. I'll bring,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He got in. There was no power to the power poles.
Oh, my goodness.
So he got the
Got us a small
Carters.
generator.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Carter's
Oh,
brought in
wow.
the generator.
Uh-huh.
So we are so thankful for the community support, because without it, I mean, we would be struggling for sure.
Right.
It takes a village.
It does.
Well-
Well, and that is such a huge theme of Fairfield.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
Like
yes.
when
Yeah.
it's like funeral visitations.
Oh yeah.
Everybody turns out for
Oh, I
those, and anybody
know.
who's from a bigger city is like, where are all these people coming from? Like everybody knows everybody, and
Yeah.
everybody supports everybody.
Yes.
Like I tell people from out of
Right.
town that I know. They ask me, how do you like Fairfield? I said, I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can be dead enemies. You could be
Right.
worst enemy going to your neighbor. But if you get sick
Yep.
or something happens and somebody holds a benefit for you,
Right.
they are the first person in line.
Oh, I know. And pork burgers. One
Oh,
of the
yeah.
greatest things ever.
I know, like I remember, because I was sheltered, right? I lived in
Right.
Fairfield. We didn't have all this social media. You didn't know all
Right.
these other things. Like it was a long way. My other hometown is Robinson, Illinois.
yeah.
And that was an hour and a half away. And
Right.
it's like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to see you guys again. It just seemed forever away. But I had no idea that pork burgers weren't a thing
Right.
other places. Another thing was when I went to Carbondale for school, that peanut butter sandwiches didn't go in chili all the
Right.
time. Like
Yeah.
my Carterville friends were just like, what is that? That's disgusting.
Right.
You
I know.
I'm like,
I know.
what? Like, I didn't know people didn't eat this.
Exactly.
You know?
Takes
So-
a little getting used to, but and then
Right.
you kind of go, all right, I see the appeal.
Good. So,
Yeah.
so yes, you're originally from Chicago.
Yes, I'm sorry for that.
She has adjusted well, and she hasn't been kicked out of Fairfield yet.
That's
so
right.
she's, a true Fairfieldian, obviously, at this point. You've been here
30 years.
30 years.
30 years, which I'm not that old.
I know. I was going to say,
so,
we're telling
yeah.
our age.
So
but
you got to Fairfield, 5?
Yes,
about 5
we're
years
going
old.
with
Something like
that.
that?
We're going with that. You are my new best friend. Right there. Yeah, we're going with that.
suck up. No.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chicago, and then you said you met your husband, right, in Washington,
in
D.C.
Washington, D.C.
And
Yep.
I mean, how did he coax you to come from the big city life to a small town life? Just
It
madly
was-
in love.
Well,
huh?
I mean, I guess we didn't start out there. Well, and he wasn't a farmer when I met him.
Okay.
So a little bit of change of circumstances
like
there.
bait
You're going to
and
be
switch, you
right.
know?
I feel like God was bored one day and
Yeah.
said, "I need a good laugh. We're going to make Debbie a farmer's wife. So watch this. Watch this."
You did not see that, coming
Did not
in
see
your
that
life
coming.
at
No,
all.
well, the thing about farmers is they get hungry, so you have to cook for them.
Uh-huh.
And I'm Irish. When's the last time you went to a good Irish restaurant? Right, you can't think of one.
No, I really
because
can't.
we're known for potatoes and
There
corned
are
beef,
a
and
lot
that's
of
pretty much it.
Irish pubs.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
gonna say.
Pub-
And you know
Pubs,
what?
yes.
If you go to an Irish pub and you drink enough, the
Everything
food is
tastes
pretty
good then.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say it's like
exactly.
fish and chips, or
Right,
you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's bar food. That's all.
Exactly.
I know.
Right.
But hey, you did say potatoes, and farmers love potatoes,
Right,
So
exactly,
you got that
exactly.
down at
Yep.
least, and then you just had
Yep.
to learn the meat, how to
Right.
cook the meat.
I know.
or
I
a
know.
Good casserole. You know?
Right. Well, I know. And when my father-in-law retired, that meant my mother-in-law retired from cooking. And I said to the guys, and I apologize in advance.
Right.
I've tried to be her. I'm not her. She is amazing. And I'll just be sure that you have some food, and hopefully you won't get food poisoning, and it will all be okay.
We're
so,
like
so far, so good.
spirit animals. I feel the same way. My mother-in-law is an amazing cook,
Mm-hmm.
and my mom, she taught me how to appreciate blackened food.
Right,
you know,
yes.
like
Yes,
a good
indeed.
blackened
I get that.
salmon.
I get that.
Or a blackened lasagna, whatever.
Right,
But-
yes.
So that's how I cook as well. My husband, luckily, is not a picky eater, and
we go.
he will choke it down.
I know.
Typically with a smile on his face.
Right.
The comments may come later, but anyways, yeah.
I get that. Well, with the two boys growing up, more than once the prayer was, "And please help it be good." And then the other one was, "How much of this do I have to eat?" It's like the more you complain, the more you have to eat. So we all survived somehow.
Yes. I've got a comment on the live chat I wanted to mention about the chili and peanut butter. So my sister-in-law, Samantha Vaughn, lives in Clarksville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And she said for Super Bowl, she made everyone down there try chili and peanut butter sandwiches. And she said they were confused why it worked together. Ha, ha, ha. So,
before I moved to Fairfield, it was grilled cheese and chili with me.
really?
That's what we always grew up
Okay.
on: grilled
Okay.
cheese and
See,
chili.
we're grilled cheese and tomato soup around here. Grilled
Yep,
cheese and
yep,
tomato soup.
definitely.
But I would cook
you
it with
know,
chili
it's
too.
just like-
Yeah.
I've come to appreciate it though. Because
Okay.
the first time Tina did it, made chili and peanut butter, I was like, grilled
What-
cheese. I don't
what
know
is
peanut butter.
happening?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
always
now
make
it's
Clinton do
like-
the peanut butter part.
I go to the firefighters chili cook
Yeah.
it, and get
Yeah.
peanut butter sandwich, and
Yeah.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Right. Ooh,
I
now
lo-
you're making me hungry.
I know. Like, when is the next one? We need to know and they give out the hot dog with it.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
Dessert.
so good.
Exactly.
So good. All right. So let's move on to your next thing. I have that you're a speaker. So in your past, you've went and done some public speaking. Is it motivational speaking?
Yeah,
Is it,
yeah, kind of. I was a member of Toastmasters for a while, and then,
Okay.
but I'm still part of a group that gets together and we'll have a presentation to do or
Yeah.
a speech we want to work on and get feedback on.
Well, that's really
So yeah, it
neat.
is. It's good.
That
it's
is
good.
fun. I am a very social person. I love to talk to people one-on-one. But you put me in front of a crowd and I get like nervous tics, like my nose will start running, or you know what I mean? I'll get red-faced and sweaty.
Right.
And see with me, as long as I have a microphone in front of me.
You're okay.
If I have to speak to a group without a microphone,
Oh, okay.
you know,
It's the
Right.
comfort.
if the mic is in front of me or if I'm holding a mic,
Right.
I'm fine. It's
Right.
weird.
That
Well,
is
and part of it is getting over that fear.
Yes.
I mean, that was my thing for a long time, much longer than I would like to admit, was if I could just get the stomach flu, like the day before, where I'm definitely too sick to go, but I'm not out for like a whole week or something.
Right.
You know, so more laughter from God and all that, but whatever.
That's hilarious. It's funny how life works out. We've kind of talked about that before we went on air, you know. Never thought I'd end up being a technology person.
Right.
You never thought you'd end up being a speaker, and sometimes, God has other plans, or
Right. I know. I would have paid better attention in English class.
right.
And typing. You know, back in the day when they had typing, I can type fast, but I only have about 10% accuracy. So that backspace key gets used a lot, and you know, the little red line under the word. It's like we don't know what you're trying to say. I'm like, no, I don't.
I don't either. Actually, I have no idea. So let's go into that then. So while you're typing, you've wrote a children's book, Christmas themed.
Yep.
Can we be told the title and some info about it?
It's called What Would Christmas Be?
Okay.
It's on Amazon. It's just, you know, I kind of wondered if we got rid of all of the stuff of Christmas, all the presents, all the decor, all the busy, all the food, what do we actually have to have Christmas? So it's a faith-based book, but it's fun.
I love that.
It's fun.
It makes me kind of think of like the Grinch and, you know, Cindy Lou and her.
Right.
You know, you just see all the presents and all the stuff. And was
Her
that what it's
quest.
all about? You know?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Quest to get rid of commercialism in Christmas.
Yeah.
Exactly. Which, you know, giving presents is fun.
Right,
I get
it
that.
is,
But when that becomes the focus and
Yeah.
all you want to do is tear your hair out or, you know,
Yeah.
fly to Jamaica instead of actually
Yeah.
be present, then it's a problem.
Yes, definitely. It takes the joy out of it,
Right.
and it does get overwhelming sometimes. And I've told people that before. I'm like, if giving presents doesn't give you joy, then
Right.
don't do it.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
No
Oh,
one's
yeah.
gonna be offended. At least if my kids are, they're gonna have a swift talking to. But you know, like no one's gonna get offended if you don't buy them gifts. If that doesn't
Right.
bring you joy, I truly enjoy
Right.
giving gifts and
Yeah.
seeing the joy on people's face when you know that brings me joy. And I enjoy shopping for people and finding that little unique thing. I'm not just going to buy, but I want
Right.
to find the thing that would make them really happy,
Right.
or be unique or whatever. So well, that's really neat. Check it out on Amazon, and we will link that on our
Okay, cool,
on our
thanks.
Facebook page
Yeah.
too. So you guys can grab yourselves a copy of that.
But you're working on some other books too, right?
I am. I've gone a completely different direction. These are nonfiction, and I have enough information. I think it's actually going to be 3 books. But the first one is basically truth, what it is, how it works, and why it sets you free. And
Okay.
so I'm actually doing the writing process of that now. Finally, so. Sitting there in front of the computer and the little cursor is going, you don't have anything to say. Like, yes, I do. It's
Writer's
in here
block.
somewhere.
Yeah,
right, exactly.
Stop blinking at me, cursor.
Right. So once you get the truth out, you kind of know what to do with truth and that
Right.
there is truth.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I mean, not everything is just opinion or personal experience or whatever. There,
Right.
you know, gravity's true. You know,
Yeah, there
there are true things.
Yes, right.
and you can deny gravity, but you jump up, you're still going to come back down.
Right. Or
Right.
the
Every single
world
time.
the world is not flat, you know, those types of truths.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Here's some
Is
science.
it flat?
I was going to say.
I thought when we got to the edge of Fairfield, we fell
that
off
was
I know. No, that's the cats.
into
the
Lake
cats
Mill
pushed us
Shoals
up.
or something, you know?
Right, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Well, that sounds really interesting, and I like that it's you're switching it up and doing nonfiction. And so do you have an idea of what 2 and 3 the main things are going to be on them? Is it going to
Yeah.
continue truth, or
Yeah,
is it
well,
gonna...
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. It's going to start out with that, but it's using. Well, okay. Here's what I like to say. So there are 8.7 million species on planet Earth,
Wow.
and one of them is screwing it up for all the rest.
Would that be us?
That would be us.
I think
But
that's us.
Us who are
Yeah.
supposedly the most intelligent
Right,
species. I
right.
mean, clearly we have some work to do. So, but you don't need all that intelligence necessarily. Not that intelligence is a bad thing. To have a great, fulfilling life. I mean, it works for nature.
Yeah.
So maybe if we lived the way nature
Okay.
functioned,
Yeah.
our lives would be a little bit better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
We've
So yeah.
muddied it up, right? We've
Right.
like
It's
you
all
talked-
about us. We're the top of the food
consumerism.
chain.
Yes, definitely.
But no, we're not.
We can pave paradise and put up a parking lot. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
right?
There we go. That's a good song.
good
Anytime
song.
you can throw in some song lyrics, it's a good thing.
It's my head all the time.
There
you
you go.
talk and
Yeah.
I hear song lyrics.
Right, me too.
But yeah, it is sad, and that's a good topic to touch on, because especially in small town America, I think a lot of times we're kind of removed from the bigger issues maybe that are going on.
We
but
are sheltered
we're very sheltered.
on certain things.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Well-
news and, we're exposed to more, but it's still easy to get in our little bubble and stay there.
It is, and
And
know,
it's safe.
not a bad bubble.
You feel
necessarily.
safe
right.
when you're in your little bubble.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you have people.
Yeah.
You have families. You have, people who've been here forever, and you could date that kid, but I knew his grandfather, or whatever.
Who was his mom? Who was
Right.
his
Yes.
grandma?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, hear that all the time.
All
and
the time.
Then you have to call somebody. Go. We don't have this right. Who are we talking to? Or sorry. We're today. You text them. Don't
Yeah,
necessarily
right.
Call, but
Do not call. I'm
Right.
not answering that. No.
oh, it's Debbie. Please never answer the phone.
Oh, that is funny. I had another thought on that, and I lost it.
Uh-oh.
Hate when
I do that all the time. It's my influence.
If
on
I
you
don't,
today.
if I don't write it down, it's gone. The brain is very,
Right.
very small. The memory is very small.
No, seriously, well, and that's part of it.
Yeah.
We're so our phones. I actually just read a book on it recently called Stolen Focus, where we can't focus
Yeah.
anymore, and it's partly the devices, and it's partly that from these devices, all of these thousands of engineers who have built these devices
Yeah.
to pull away our focus, to take them to
Definitely.
stupid stuff.
Yeah, and it's like a dopamine thing. Like they,
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's been like lawsuits and stuff about
Right.
it because it's addicting children all the way up to elderly, where
Exactly.
they'll sit on Facebook or whatever for hours, TikTok for hours, because it's like, well, what's going to be next? It's that
Exactly.
FOMO, that,
Exactly.
fear of missing something, and yeah, we've talked about implementing like at least from like 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. or something in our house where it's just
Right.
tech-free zone.
Well, I think there are studies that have shown if you use your phone, if you're on your phone like right before you go to bed, it affects your sleep patterns
Right.
somehow.
Yeah.
And not in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah,
Right.
they say to turn it off, I think at least an hour before
Right.
you lay down. Otherwise, your mind's just going. And I think,
Trying to process.
yeah,
Right.
I think that we, dang it, I lost it again. Oh,
Do you have
I
coffee
think
this
that
morning?
I did.
Do you need
I
some
didn't
more?
sleep well.
Okay.
I hear that.
And I have too much going on. So, and then that was what my point was. I think that society, like you think people have to be doing all of the things, right? To get like the recognition or the acknowledgement, like, oh, wow.
Right.
She's a hard worker, or he's a hard worker, or man, they're doing everything. Like, look at them go. And I just think society kind of encouraged us to have this really busy schedule.
Right.
To always be running, to always be doing, kind of put ourselves last.
Right.
And
Yeah.
our mental health and physical health, and like, God forbid, take a day off work, or,
Right.
call in sick or
Right.
anything
Right.
like that. So
Well,
I
that
think that
that's
affects
actually
it a
that's
lot.
that's kind of one of the principles of nature's is rest,
rest.
right? Like Sabbath. Like,
Yeah.
take a day off. Mm-hmm. Right. Nature takes time off.
Right.
I mean, the flowers and the trees are starting to come back
Yeah.
now, but
Right.
they took a break.
Yeah, and we need to
Right.
focus on that too.
And
'cause-
it affects your creativity
oh, definitely.
Yeah.
to not to have that
Yeah.
downtime, or but this is so much more exciting, or
Yeah.
whatever. But it's during those quiet moments that your brain makes the connections.
100%. And so I have Raylan James Marketing, which
Yeah.
is kind of like the parent company of this, and I have some employees and contractors that work under me, and we were working on Little Texas tickets, right? So we
Right.
have Little Texas concert coming up the Friday before the eclipse, but I mean, Elena worked on it for like 8 hours, right? And
Right.
she's just like, like, I still don't love it, you know? And I was
Right.
like, take a break, you know, step away, don't look at it. And there's times I have to do that for creativity
Right.
reasons,
Right.
you know? Like, if you're looking at it and you're not getting anywhere and you
Right.
aren't feeling passionate about it anymore,
Right.
you have to step away. And you
Exactly.
have to take a break. And then you look at it, you know, the next day and you're like,
Exactly.
got it. That's what I
Exactly.
need to do. You know?
Exactly.
So I think that's very important.
Right. I get my best ideas in the shower.
Yeah.
You know, and they
You
actually
need,
have
like,
this
a-
stuff. Well, and I've tried all of those things, but they have this great stuff. I get no money for this, but it's just such a fantastic product. It's called Aqua Notes,
Okay.
and it's like soy-based paper. So you get the little paper, you get the little pad of paper with the suction cups,
No
and a pencil
way.
that says, never have a good idea, go down the drain again. You know, and I can't tell you the number of those little white
it.
papers that, just for the book. Hey, I need that for that.
That's
make those connections
so-
because I'm in the shower and
Yeah.
I'm not distracted by a phone
Right.
or anything else, and I'm moving,
yes.
right, and your brain just works.
Yeah.
See, mine comes in the middle of the night.
That's what I was going to
Yes.
say.
And
You wake up from a deep slumber and you're like,
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I don't know how many of I have solved every one of the world's problems.
Right.
I have solved them. I just can't remember
Yeah.
how I did it.
I know, right, right.
That's what, I do use my phone. It's by my bed.
Right.
So if I wake up in the middle of the night, I will try to grab it,
And,
you know.
and text
just-
one of us.
Well, yeah.
Right, well, there you go. Yeah.
I'm like, people, keep your phones on Do Not Disturb because you probably
Right.
will get a text from me at 1 a.m. or 3
Right.
a.m. or whatever when I wake up because if I don't do it right then, I'm going to forget.
Exactly.
My husband says I need to utilize the voice notes.
Oh,
you
right,
know?
right,
But I just,
right.
I haven't. And I'm a quick typer, so I just type it in really fast. But typically, yeah, I'll just send these guys
Right.
random messages. I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be that person. Don't worry about responding until,
Well, at
normal
least they can
business
read yours
hours.
because like autocorrect tries to get mine, and then I read it later. I go, I had no idea what that was. I actually have a little post-it note pad by my side of the bed, and I can just kind of hopefully write it well enough in the dark to know what it was. But
Yeah.
I don't remember what
See,
that was.
that's my other problem too. If I write it down, I can't read my writing.
I hear that. I have terrible handwriting.
And if
my
I try,
boys always
and if I
say
try
that.
and type it in, it usually comes out mixoplick.
Right. Wow, we're creating a new language.
Yeah.
This is great. Yeah, I have no idea what it was I was trying to say. Yeah.
We misspell things so much on Mule Nation that I think our phones like autocorrect it now to the wrong spelling.
Oh,
you know
I
what I
know.
mean?
I had that happen the other day.
I know, and like so then we'll get. Please comment and let us know if we misspell things because if Mark posts it, like I'll go and proofread it. If I post it, I'll proofread it. But you can't proofread
Right.
your own work,
Right.
and you just kind of skim right over those mistakes. But yeah, we'll have people comment and be like, "You spelled that kid's last name wrong," or
Right.
do you know that you have baseball spelled wrong or whatever? But yeah, the autocorrect, I swear, it's set to just mess with us.
Well, the technology that's involved in these phones anymore,
Yeah.
and the AI that is actually a little scary. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They do kind of cater to what you write, what you type.
I'm telling you, it is scary. Because
is.
I was at La Fuente last night. We had a cast dinner for Murder Mystery Dinner
Yeah.
that we're having tomorrow. And there was a girl in front of me, and she was just adorable, and she had these, like, so comfy sweatpants. But they
Yeah.
weren't, like, you look frumpy sweatpants.
Right.
They were adorable.
They weren't like going to Walmart
weren't-
on Sunday sweatpants.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
They weren't like the ones that I've had since college that I should throw
right.
away.
Oh, I hear that.
I'm like, those are adorable. I didn't say it out loud.
Right.
And you would not believe it. This morning I wake up and like the first ad I see is for those sweatpants. Is it coincidence
know.
or
I know.
is there a chip in my brain? Like I don't know. It was
It's a
just-
little scary.
It was. I'm like, and my husband and I've talked about it before too. It's like we've never said that out loud, But if you text things, if you say
Right.
something in text,
Oh, yeah.
then it'll pick it up.
Oh yeah. Well, we were was a year ago in December. Our dog had been pretty sick for about 6 months, so we were talking about the dog, and all of a sudden on my Facebook there are all these ads, or for any dog things or
Right.
dog videos, and
Right.
so finally I pick up my phone. I'm like, my dog is sick. I do not want to see those. And amazingly enough, those stopped coming.
Really?
It's just aggravating.
That is so crazy. But
Well, and they've talked about that, like, if you're using the same Wi-Fi, right?
Yep.
So, like, if you're planning a surprise vacation for your spouse, all of a sudden they're going to start getting ads for
Yes.
Jamaica or wherever it is.
Yes.
It's like, what? You're going to ruin the surprise. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy.
that reminds me of my first thought that I forgot.
Yay!
Thank you. Jamaica. So I was talking about, I know, Jamaica. I went on vacation. He said I said it too much. I talked about it too much. He was just
Jamaica's awesome.
jealous.
It wasn't after she got back telling us how much fun she had.
Uh-huh.
It was before. I'm going to Jamaica.
It was
We're
the
going
week
to Jamaica.
before.
Yeah.
Listen.
Well,
I
and the
was
word
getting
Jamaica is just fun to say.
It is.
So you want to throw it into conversation whenever you
For
can.
sure.
The only thing I can think of when I hear the word Jamaica is Jimmy Buffett. Jamaica me crazy.
Oh, there we go.
That's
Yeah.
the only thing that
I
pops into
thought
my
you-
head.
I thought you were going to say Bob Marley.
And Bob
That too.
Marley.
Yeah.
And Bob Marley.
But I was
Three
going
Little
to,
Birds.
yeah, it's a good song. I was going to talk about, so we're sheltered in our little town, and like we travel all over, right, for games or
Right.
whatever. We go up to Chicago. We go, although the population is different, I feel like majority, especially in Illinois, it's kind of a median income or, and you travel to places like Jamaica, and I felt
Oh, yeah.
horrible, right? Because you're
Yeah.
driving in.
Right.
And the things you see and the way people are living, and then you get to this big, beautiful resort, and you're supposed to be pampered all week long, and it's all inclusive, and I'm just like, I feel like a horrible person. Like if
Right.
we, which it was a free trip, my husband earned it through his job, but it's like we have the money to go on these expensive, wonderful vacations, and then
Right.
there's people living in extreme poverty miles outside,
Exactly.
not
Oh,
even
yeah.
outside the front
Right.
door of the resort.
Right. Right.
And, every place that I've traveled, like, Mexico or Punta Cana, Jamaica, that's everywhere. And my intern is from Germany, and she's like, we travel to Egypt and we travel to Africa, and the same
Right.
thing. She's like, you go to these big, beautiful resorts, and then on the way there, it's heartbreaking.
It is.
And so I don't know. I think we're very lucky here, but we're also very sheltered to what other places are experiencing. But I will say, Jamaican people were so sweet.
Yep.
I said, because I felt guilty, I felt bad, and I asked a couple of the workers, I was like, do you hate us? Like, I just want to
Right.
know, like,
Yeah.
do you resent us? And they're like, very much one love. They just kept saying
Right.
that. They're like, without you, guys coming here,
Right.
our tourism would be dead and we wouldn't have jobs. So
Right.
please don't ever feel bad, for being here. Whether they've been, PR trained to say that or if they truly believe
Right.
it. But
I mean, right.
I do believe their way of life and they do believe in the one love type of,
Right.
mentality.
Yeah,
So,
and tourism's a huge industry. Their other
Right.
industry is rum.
right.
Rum
right.
and tourism.
Yeah.
Right.
And, we're doing the same thing. We're trying to increase our tourism and trying to kind of capitalize on the solar eclipse.
Right,
and,
exactly.
It's such a great added income for any area if you can get tourism.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
So, speaking of solar eclipse coming up,
I know.
guys, April 8th.
I can't believe it's 3 weeks away.
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't believe
Well,
Easter is 2 weeks away.
I know.
1 month until the solar eclipse itself. Today is March 8th,
gosh, yeah.
so 1 month exactly. But yeah, the kickoff weekend, it starts on Friday, so we'll have the solar eclipse kickoff concert with Bo Tatum, the Dirt Devils, and
Yeah.
Little Texas.
Uh-huh.
I'm guessing from being from Chicago, you probably aren't a huge country music fan.
No, not necessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, not something that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's country. It's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
something I didn't grow. I know
Yeah.
blues,
Right.
classic rock. That
Yes.
was pretty much it. But hey, if it's got a beat, I'm good.
I know, same. I'm really I always say the only genre I can't get behind is like the heavy metal. It's just too
Right.
much noise for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm a mom, and I've always got so many sounds
Right.
going on. Plus, my head is going. You know,
Right.
lots of thoughts, and I'm like, I got noise canceling headphones to wear at home because
Right.
my husband
Yeah.
has the TV on, he has his phone on, the boys are on their tablets, and I'm just like,
Now, see,
Right.
okay. How do these noise canceling headphones work? Okay, because from what I understand,
Yeah.
if you're talking to somebody, it just clears the
the
the background noise.
Yes.
But if you're sitting there talking to someone, you can still carry on a conversation. Is that right?
Well, I'm not sure. I know there's different types. So the kind that I have, I actually do have to play something. It'll dull down any excess noise,
Okay.
but I can still hear, you know,
Okay.
things. But I'll play ocean, waves or a rain on a tin roof or something
Okay.
that's like relaxing.
And I know, like, when you have
to
an
me.
MRI, they give you headphones
Oh, yeah.
that are playing whatever type of music you want now.
Yeah.
I had an ultrasound this week, and I have never been more relaxed in my life. I told that lady that was giving me the ultrasound, I'm like, she had me lay on my side, and I'm like this, which is my sleep position.
Oh,
and,
there you go.
And it's dark in there, and she had that nice calming music playing in the background. I'm like, I'm so relaxed, I may fall asleep. She's like, you wouldn't be the first one.
Oh, good. Yeah.
It was like 7:30 in the morning,
I
so
know- I know.
I was sleeping.
Every time I've ever had an MRI, I fall asleep.
Do you?
I do.
Well, that's good because you have to be still.
You have to be still. Even without the headphones, I fall asleep because of the
Hum.
the rhythmic
Right.
noise.
Right.
Is just
Right.
to me, it's just relaxing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, other people are, just bothersome.
Yeah.
But
no,
not
doesn't bother
not
me.
me for some. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't know why. Of course, anybody that knows me will tell you I can fall asleep anywhere, anytime. I actually fell
Right.
asleep at the U2 concert at Busch Stadium years
Oh
ago.
my!
I have fallen asleep at the Cars. Remember
Yeah.
the Cars? Yeah.
Yeah.
I fell asleep at one of their concerts. I was in college and just going everywhere, and it was dark, and I was sitting down. I was comfy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
mean-
paid all this money for this ticket, and now I'm going to only half enjoy it, maybe, on a good day.
Yeah.
That was me at the Chicks. Now is what they're called.
Oh, right.
Oh, the Dixie-
Right,
yeah.
Dixie
Dixie
Chicks.
Chicks,
Yeah. We literally, me and some girlfriends went to Vegas just to see the
Yeah.
Chicks in concert,
Uh-huh.
and they. God love them. People want to show their new music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we go there for the nostalgia.
Right.
We want your album from the 90s. You know
Right.
what I mean? So we
Yeah.
can sing along and have a good time. And I was sitting down,
Yeah.
nodding off
Right.
at the concert. I'm like, here I am in Vegas. Like, how
Yeah.
cool am I?
Oh, I
It's
know.
it's like a couple years ago. We went and saw James Taylor and Jackson Brown.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a
Well,
good one.
Jackson Brown comes out and announces that he's going to play his new album music. And I'm going, no. We
Right.
want the old stuff.
Yeah. Do some.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did
but
like
yeah.
one or two songs of his old stuff.
Oh.
And it wasn't even the really good stuff from
Right.
Jackson Brown back in the day.
That was
Oh.
my
But it was just like, oh.
That was my experience, my bucket list. I'm a country fan.
Yeah.
Mostly, but I mean, like I said, I love all genres, but my bucket list was to see George Strait and Garth Brooks in concert. Not together, but those were
Right.
my two of my bucket list items. Garth Brooks was absolutely amazing. He is an entertainer. I
Yes.
mean, it was the
Absolutely.
most fun concert.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, so amazing.
I remember
But-
seeing Garth the year before he hit it big
Oh yeah, you
at the
said that.
Arcola Broomcorn Festival.
The Arcola Broomcorn Festival.
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know all those words fit together.
I'm still
That's
trying to figure out how they do.
Right? Broomcorn. Okay, I'm
Broomcorn.
going to think about that later.
I'm gonna Google this.
Right.
But then I went to George Strait, and I was so looking forward to it because that was my high school. He had like 100 number ones.
Oh, yeah.
There was like the disc
wow.
set that you could buy, and it had all of his number ones on it, and I was so excited. And he had just released an album, and then his son had released an album. Was trying to get into
yeah.
country music too, which
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I'm thankful he has that platform that he can help his son, but I don't know that they played two of, his number ones
Yeah.
throughout that whole concert. And I was like, Oh, you know,
Right.
like you just, I
Right.
think you get, especially these stars that you've loved
You,
for the
you wanna
longest time.
you want to hear what you're familiar with.
Yes, and you get
Right.
your hopes up, and you have these big, hopes of how it's going to be,
Right.
and then it's not, and you're just kind of down. But yeah, I mean, it was still cool to get to see him in concert for sure. But him and Garth Brooks are very, very different performers.
Right.
George just stands
Yeah.
right behind the mic
Right,
and strums the
exactly.
guitar, and I mean, Garth is jumping from rafters.
Oh, I know. You know, I
doing
did
flips.
that too. I was in college, I think, and
Yeah.
and in 1 week I saw David Bowie and John Fogelberg.
Well,
And
that's a
it was a complete dichotomy, right?
that's a 180, isn't it?
Yeah, well, David
Dichotomy,
Bowie
I gotta
was the
look
Glass
this up.
Spider
Yeah.
tour. They had this whole huge spider over the stage
Oh,
with
yeah.
all the lights,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and they had picked someone out of the audience, and then she became a dancer. They had scaffold. I mean, the lights, everything, and then. 5 days later, I'm watching Dan Fogelberg, and he had his band, but then all of a sudden they left, and he's just sitting,
Yeah.
playing his guitar. He's like, here's my new song, and it's,
Yeah.
this and this, and the third guy is the one who's singing this song to you, and you just went from that epic
Right.
to this intimate,
Yes.
and both are valuable.
100%.
Wow, what a difference!
What a
and you do you.
Yeah.
If John Fogelberg's not David Bowie,
Right.
which is fine,
Right.
But be true to who you are.
Yes, exactly. Everyone has a niche, and everyone has someone that appreciates music is
Right.
going to appreciate both of those types of performers because, I mean, yeah, I love an acoustic set just as much as I love a Garth
One-
Brooks crazy entertaining
Yeah.
set. But
One of the
Right.
best shows I ever saw. Steve Miller Band.
Oh yeah,
Steve Miller didn't have an opening act. Steve Miller came out
he was his own opening act.
with his with a chair and a guitar, and he played acoustic blues for a half hour.
Oh,
and they
man.
went back. They took a break.
Yeah.
Here they come out with Steve Miller Band.
Oh
that
man,
was great.
Right, we did that. We saw B.B. King.
Oh,
And he had Kenny Wayne Shepherd and the Fabulous Thunderbirds open for him, and that was just really cool. But so you had the two
Yeah.
opening acts,
That would've
and
been an
then
incredible
B.B.
show.
King is getting ready to come out on stage.
Yeah.
Well, he's older, right? And so they bring out a chair
yeah.
for B.B. King to sit in and
Uh-huh.
play.
Wow.
Not a throne, not a nice fancy chair, a
Folding.
metal folding chair.
When
Give
I went
the
and saw-
man a
BB
recliner.
King, if anybody should have a really nice chair to sit on
Throne,
stage,
like you said, yeah.
no, he didn't care. He's just sitting there playing. And when the audience got quiet, he'd just sit there and he'd do this little boogie move, and the audience would go crazy.
When I went and
Wow.
saw B.B. King
I
a few
love
years
that.
ago,
Yeah.
that's the same way. They just brought out just an old metal folding chair back from
Yeah.
whatever's sitting behind on the stage.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I wonder, was it the stadium's folding chair? Does he travel with his own? I'm thinking it was the stadium one.
Totally his favorite folding chair he's ever had. and he
Exactly.
just
Does
brings
it say
with
BB
him.
King on the back? I don't know. I didn't see the back.
It's bejeweled back there. You just have no idea. Oh my gosh, that is funny. I saw another one of my favorites is Willie Nelson. His
Yeah.
voice reminds me of like my grandpa singing to me as a kid. And it's
Oh.
always nostalgia, But
Yeah.
we went and saw him in Evansville, and like, God love him, he's just getting so old. And it's
Right.
like, this is what you love. And I think he's going to literally do it until the day he dies if his health allows him to. But
Right.
It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking seeing like your idols up there and realizing how old they are getting.
Right.
and-
Well, he was old 50 years ago.
Exactly.
So and his guitar, I guess, and Clinton plays guitar, my husband.
Okay.
And so always interested in that.
Uh-huh.
And I guess Willie Nelson, I mean, he's had the same guitar the whole time. Like, it's got holes.
Oh my gosh!
But he
will
doesn't
not-
want another one, right?
I
So
love that.
that's fun.
Well, so
like
would-
they stay down to earth,
Yeah, B.B.
Right.
King and Lucille,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, is that his guitar?
That's
Yeah.
B.B. King's
okay.
guitar, Lucille.
that's awesome.
Well, Eric Clapton had Blackie, or has still, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clinton saw him in concert last year, which was fun. That was a bucket
If
list
you're a
item for him.
guitar
Uh-huh.
person, that's
Yep.
definitely a
Yeah.
bucket
Yeah.
list person.
We went and we saw the Eagles couple. That was on
Oh,
our
yeah.
bucket list, see the Eagles.
Yeah.
And we got to see that Hotel California tour
Ooh.
with Vince Gill.
Did they play like
Okay.
the long version of
They
Hotel?
played, this is what they did.
Yeah.
They came out, didn't say a word. They started off with Hotel California.
Which the crowd went
Okay.
wild.
Right.
Right.
They played every song from that album.
Oh my god.
In order.
Wow.
Okay, they got done playing that. Don Henley finally says something. He says, Okay, that concludes the Hotel California portion of our show. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to grab a cold one, and we're going to come back and play everything else we know.
Awesome.
So how long was the concert?
It's about 3 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Great.
I
Of
mean,
course, they
how
didn't play
cool.
everything else they knew,
No.
but
Right.
But they
played,
did.
They played all the good stuff.
I mean, and that's great that the headliner will stay and play that long
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
typically, it's an hour and a half maybe that you'll get out
and
of a headliner,
Tina-
and you're paying them
Tina
a
was
pretty
just-
penny to do it.
Tina
Right.
was really excited about it because Vince Gill was with the Eagles. So
Yeah,
Well, there you go.
I can't blame her.
Well, and a group that is going to give the audience what they want.
Yes.
You know, I know that you want to play all your new stuff, and yes, there is a
Yes.
place for that. But
Yes.
when it's all about you,
Yeah. You have people spending, and it is hard-earned money, and
Right.
you have to work a lot of hours sometimes to pay for those tickets.
Right.
And we're going because we love you and love your old stuff. And
mean-
it makes me think of like Kobe Bryant. I remember him talking at one point about they're like, well, why does he always play through his injuries? Or, it's like,
yeah,
I remember being the kid up in the nosebleeds with my dad wanting to watch my hero, Michael Jordan.
Right.
And, I don't
Yeah.
want to break their hearts when they come
Yeah.
in and I'm sitting on the bench because my wrist hurts,
Right.
And he was like, I'd break
Right.
through a lot, but
right?
give the people what they want.
yeah.
Exactly.
I know
There is so much
the,
to that.
the concerts we're looking at this summer, George Strait and Chris Stapleton.
Oh,
They're doing a stadium tour.
Yeah, they're going to be in St. Louis, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
And then
That's a pretty penny to attend.
yeah.
I'll bet.
And then there's believe it or not, an Earth, Wind and Fire reunion band tour.
Okay.
Which I think I'm thinking about getting tickets to
I
see
like
that.
it.
Go
I
for
think
it.
it's going to be a good show.
And, of course, Little Texas, April
Yeah,
5th
Little
is
Texas
on
is
your
coming.
early spring
Yeah.
to-do list. But so I manage the Solar Eclipse Facebook page, and I had someone ask, when did 2 of the members leave? And I had to look it up. They actually had 2 of their members depart one in 94 and one in 97. So it's not the original 4.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's been 20 years ago,
Right.
that
Right.
they left.
Well, I mean,
Crazy
you
to
go-
think 94 was 20 years ago,
Well,
or 30
30
years ago.
Oh, I feel old now.
Oh, my gosh.
94 was 30 years
30.
ago. Oh,
I mean,
okay.
but yeah, 86 was only 20.
I
I don't know
know.
how that works.
I know.
I know.
He loves when
I
I
know,
make
I
age
know.
I'm
comments.
trying to process this.
He loves when I make age
It's
comments.
like, wait,
for
you're
sure.
asking me to do math in
Yeah.
the morning. When was 30 years ago?
Seriously.
See, that's where I was running into problems. I don't have enough fingers and toes to
Yeah,
count to 30.
right.
Exactly. He's from Kentucky,
I'm-
so that's
I'm
how
not-
they learned
Yeah.
math there.
Right,
Fingers
yeah.
and toes.
That's
Fingers
okay.
and toes, nose was one. If you needed to, you called your cousin from West Virginia because
Can
he's
you
got like
count
3 or 4
yours?
extra toes.
There
Right.
you go. Right.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my goodness. All right, I want to give a shout out to your website, which it's debbielegg.com.
Right. Yep.
Debbielegg.com if you want to find out more about Debbie and what she does. And we will post the link to her Amazon Christmas children's book as well. And then you have a YouTube channel. Do you know your YouTube channel handle by chance?
I don't think I do.
It
I'm
is
not
on.
sure I know much.
It is
Right.
on her website. I know you can get to it from there. So
Most of what I'm posting these days is like on Facebook or Instagram
Yep.
or even LinkedIn.
awesome.
Getting stuff out there.
Find
and
her
who
on
knows?
there and give her a follow and a like. And let's go on to weather
Yeah.
for the
mean,
weekend, for today and the
Well,
weekend.
we're looking just about like yesterday, only rain.
Yeah.
I mean, about 60 for the high. I mean, that's about what it's going to be for the remainder of the weekend.
Is it going to rain all weekend? Or?
Saturday is supposed to rain. Temps
Yeah.
drop down into the low 50s. Sunday the sun comes back out, but temps in the low 50s, and then Monday we're back into the 60s for next week.
Okay.
As long as
So-
it's better for tennis practice on Monday. We're good.
Yeah, I know. Spring sports are underway.
I know.
Tennis
It's exciting.
is practicing. We have, actually, I'll just
I mean, they've already ran some track meets, some
Yeah.
indoor track meets for the high
Indoor.
school.
Yeah.
So
upcoming broadcast next week. We really kick it off with Mule Nation. We have FCHS baseball versus Newton and FCHS softball versus North Clay on Monday at 4:30. On Tuesday the 12th, we have Bobcats softball at 2 and 4 p.m. versus Alney Central, and then FCHS softball at Grayville at 4:30. 3:14 Thursday, we'll have Bobcat softball versus Southeastern Illinois College. Saturday, 3:16, Bobcats baseball versus Olive Harvey at 12-4, and FCHS baseball versus Mount Carmel. And then Sunday, 3:17, St. Patrick's Day, Bobcats baseball versus Olive Harvey again that day. So we're getting back into Mule Nation. We'll also have some Bobcat Nation games for you guys next week.
How appropriate that the Bobcats are going to play a team from a college with the first name of Olive.
Right.
On St. Patty's Day.
Oh,
We're supposed
there
to
we
wear
go.
the green.
There we
I
go.
know.
I
I
see that.
love it.
Show them Bigora.
I wonder if they have some green jerseys, or if they can get some green jerseys out of the archives. We need St. Patty's themed
Yeah.
jerseys. Recap of local sports for this week. Let's see, 3-1. This was last weekend.
Yeah.
Bobcats swept a doubleheader from St. Charles Community College. Bobcats softball on 3-1. Let's see. Won the
Softball.
first game 6-5 and the second game 5-4. And then on Saturday 3-2, Bobcat softball split a doubleheader with Legg. And that was the game that ended with a triple play, which was awesome. You can find that on our Bobcat Nation page.
Yeah.
It was a very rare occurrence. 3-2 also Bobcats baseball versus Gaston College in North Carolina. They ended up losing both games versus Gaston College, which is ranked number
Two in the nation.
Wow.
Game 1, they came back. They ended up losing, 8-7.
In
It
17
went
innings.
17 innings.
Oh,
We
my God.
tossed
But they
to,
said it was like the best game.
Yeah.
Like the coaches were like, it's the best game of baseball I've ever
Wow.
seen. And it took me back to Chicago Cubs in the
Right.
World Series.
Oh,
Was
gosh.
like,
Yes, I know.
we're all
I
on
know.
the edge of our seats. I'm not, and my husband's a Cubs fan, but I've always been a Cardinals fan because I've been from down
Right,
here.
right.
But I was on the edge of my seat that entire game, hoping for the Cubbies to pull
Right,
it out. And
right.
they did. So I imagine it being just as exciting.
Talk about some timely rain that came in
Yeah.
that game. You know, it was like, all right, you don't get halftime in baseball, but you're going to have one now.
We're
so
gonna
you can
give you a little
regroup, and
break.
We'll give you some help here. That was cool.
Wasn't that the game that ended at 4 o'clock in the morning?
I think it was like 1 or
remember.
midnight. It was late 'cause I
Okay.
remember being very sleepy for work the next day. But yeah, I think it went 14 or 15 innings.
Oh gosh, I don't even remember.
It
I
was-
just remember the rain and thinking, wow.
I talked
yeah.
to Coach yesterday a little bit about the trip out to North Carolina yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was that game, that first game when it went 17, he goes, we were down, we came back, we're down again, we came back, and then
Yeah.
you
Yep.
know he goes, and he
They
goes,
just kept fighting,
yeah,
which is what you want to see in your team, you know.
Yep.
3-3, Bobcats baseball went 0-2 against East Central. Let's see, lost game 2, 9-7, and it went 8. Oh, lost game 1, sorry, 9-7. Game 2 went 8 innings, and they lost 11-12. So both of those were close games as well. And then yesterday, Mark and Bob were on the call for Bobcats baseball versus Shawnee Community College.
it was a really good game. I
It was
mean,
a quick game.
Quick game, yeah. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we were done packing up out the door, and by 10 after 4.
Ooh.
I mean, of course, it only went 7. It only went 7 innings because they won by 10. But Pierce Bowerly had 4 RBIs. Keegan Martin homered. Ben Rousseau,
Yeah.
the freshman shortstop,
Yeah.
had a 2-out hit in the bottom of the 7th inning and drove in 2 runs for the final
Wow.
win. It was,
That's
it was a lot
nice.
of fun. A lot
Very
of fun. It was
cool.
a really good game.
Very cool. All right. Well, we're gonna 9:18. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip to question of the day. We'll get into some trivia, and then I may come back to upcoming events if we have time. Question of the day this week for Friday was, what was your favorite childhood cartoon?
Ooh.
So be thinking about that, and I'll pull up our responses. On Tuesday, I tried to pull up our responses, and that was the great Facebook crash
Right.
of 2024.
Oh, I know,
So I
yeah.
was like, I'm sorry, I can't read your guys'
Chapter 1.
answer. Chapter 1.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chapter 1, because
exactly.
I'm sure it will
Listen.
happen again before the year's over.
What is happening in the world? Because AT&T went down,
Right.
right? Last
Yeah.
week, 2
Yeah.
weeks ago, and then Facebook went down.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little
I'm not
nervous.
entirely sure I wanna
Cyber
know.
attack.
I know.
Cyber attack.
For real. What is this? What is happening? Okay, I put down Doug. Do you guys remember Doug?
That was a Nickelodeon
Yeah.
It was a
cartoon, wasn't it?
Nickelodeon
Okay.
commercial. That was probably my favorite. Kayla Nichols said Rugrats, which was also a favorite of mine. Tommy Pickles was always the cutest, and Angelica was always so mean. You know, I was never a fan of Big Sister Angelica, but
Right.
Crystal Vaughn said Scooby-Doo, classic. Tina Lee put a little thing on here. Scooby-Doo taught us that in the end, real monsters are always human.
Ooh.
That's deep, and I
That is
like
deep.
It's
it.
deep, yeah.
Pause for a minute.
That's too
process
deep for
that.
Saturday morning
Okay.
cartoons.
Right? Yeah.
But it's the truth, and honestly, I think it's a good lesson for like the kids too, because mine are 6 and 4,
Right.
and you know they watch YouTube or videos or whatever, and they are scared of monsters.
Sure.
And I try to teach them that, it's like it's all make believe, it's all pretend, really all we have to worry about is other humans. I mean,
Right.
it's the truth that sadly. My Uncle Jeff Weiss said Johnny Quest.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that might have been kind of before my choice. I'm thinking like Johnny Bravo, the guy with the
Oh, I remember
You
him.
remember him
Yep,
with the
yep,
hair?
like the
I do.
monarchish kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
kind of like James Dean
Right,
style.
the glasses.
Ooh, Angela Vaughn said Flintstones.
Love
Why didn't
the
I think of
Flintstones.
Flintstones?
Right.
That is a great
That
one.
was a prime time TV cartoon. Wasn't Saturday morning, it was prime
that
time.
was prime time. That
Wow.
was
Okay.
I think it was Friday night.
Oh, it was
Oh, wow.
great, and I loved the movie too when it came out.
Right,
you
yeah,
know, the real
yeah.
life movie. What's this one called?
Oh, was that?
I forgot the name of
Oh.
it. Remember that little guy? It was like a little dinosaur baby, and he's like
Yeah.
pounding in his high.
Was
high
it just called
chair.
Dinosaurs or
idea.
something?
Maybe.
Or?
I don't know.
I'll see if I can.
Was that
show
the one
it
that was
on-
like, not the mama? what he
Yes.
said? Okay.
Anyone know what this cartoon was? This was Deanna Swift's, and I can't think of the name right now. And then also she loved Roadrunner, which is
Oh, yeah.
also
We
Yeah.
bought the DVD sets so that
Did
the boy,
you?
because they were like, we don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, oh, you have
You
to see
gotta
these.
watch
Yeah.
Those were so, those Looney Tunes and Bugs Bunny were so politically incorrect.
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I know.
Yeah, you can't
Can't
they
do that
probably
now.
can't air those anymore. But what was another one I just thought of? Which I've got to stop saying that because I'm losing my train of thought.
I get it.
But yeah, those are all great cartoon suggestions.
I don't know if anybody put my favorite growing up, I think, was Speed Racer.
Okay.
He was awesome. And then
Go Speed Racer.
Yeah.
right,
Go Speed
exactly,
Racer. Go.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. And
This-
then Phineas and Ferb.
Yeah.
Probably the best cartoon ever, and I don't know, the best job ever would be doing the music.
Oh,
yeah.
my
You know, I mean, you have to come up with a
gosh.
song about an aglet, the
Yeah.
little plastic tip at
Yeah.
the end of your shoelaces.
Yeah.
But of all the things, I thought, what? I have to write a song about that?
Yeah.
But just genius.
How fun would that be to have that job
Right.
and get to come up
Right.
with puns and rhymes and things to no day would be the same,
Right.
I
Your
always-
creativity would be top notch.
I always
Yeah.
loved the Bugs Bunny, Looney Tunes,
Yeah.
those. But later, I was Animaniacs.
Okay.
Remember
yeah.
those?
Yeah.
As I
Yeah.
got older, and I'm surprised nobody said Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
The childhood.
right.
Yeah,
None
but
of
that
our
was not my
parents-
child. That was
None
not
of our
childhood.
parents
No.
let us watch that,
Right.
Mine was it's not a Saturday morning cartoon, but the Magic School Bus.
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved the Magic School Bus, and that's something that I show to my kids. And my sister-in-law and soon-to-be brother-in-law are getting married on the solar eclipse.
Yes,
That's,
how exciting.
And she wants everyone to wear just, space-themed or just sparkly or star.
Oh,
and
fun.
So I sent her a picture of Miss Riz.
That's
I could
the
get the
old-
costume, or Miss Frizz. I could get the costume and wear it. I said, I think this is what I'm wearing to your wedding. I'm
That's
gonna
an
be-
old Who song.
Oh, fun.
The Magic Bus.
Yeah,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Magic
That's right.
School
Wow. Yeah.
Bus.
Mm-hmm.
That was it. It's a good one, and it's it makes learning fun, which I think is important. I was never like a history person in high school or anything, but
Right.
now like watching shows on that have like a interesting way of presenting it. It makes me like, ooh, I want to learn more about that. And I find me pulling
man.
my phone out
Yeah.
and Googling.
Right.
Well, Lee Manuel Miranda, who
Lin-Manuel,
did
yeah.
yes. never did I care about that era
Right.
or, any of that. And it was like, I went and watched that play. We watched the movie first on Disney
Right, Hamilton,
Plus,
so good.
Hamilton. And then we went to the Fox and saw it.
Yes.
And then I was like, I just found myself going in a rabbit hole, like just wanting to learn more and more about that time period.
Right.
And what relationships were. And, of course, I'm like the reality TV girl where it's like,
Right.
wait, who was with who? And
Right. Was that accurate?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm Googling all that. But I like that type of presentation of history, even if it is a little, fibbed
Right.
up or,
Right.
I think
I'll tell you what you would like then is the old Schoolhouse Rock.
Oh, those were great.
Those were the
I'm
best.
just a bill
I know, yeah.
on Capitol Hill.
Yeah. Oh,
Those are great.
Our boys love those. We were like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I don't know that you're going to learn, here,
Yeah.
rocking and rolling, splishing and splashing
Yeah.
over the horizon,
Right.
the
Yeah.
Mayflower. How genius to take an entire thing like passing a bill,
Yeah.
or the Pilgrims coming over,
Yeah.
or the Civil War, and
Putting it to a song.
a song
yeah.
and cartoon with
Yes,
it, and
yes.
you get all the main points in a great. Oh, just
You'll
genius.
learn the basics of it at least. And for me, memory is a lot with music, right?
Yeah.
So I'll come up with a little tune or a rhyme or something to help me, like state capitals or
Right,
stuff
right.
like that. So
Right.
it really was ingenious to come for them to come up with that.
Our history class, we had to write out the preamble to the Constitution,
Oh wow!
and we're all going, "We the people, in order to," you could almost hear the class singing along
singing
with
it
that.
as they write. Okay,
Is
I
it
gotta
right there?
stop and then I
Remember
gotta start
the-
over.
Remember the Billy Joel song, We Didn't Start the Fire?
Yeah.
Goes through all
right,
of the old...
right, and there's an updated version.
Is there really?
Yeah, yeah, that
know
kind of
that.
takes from Billy Joel's song onto today. It's really interesting. I can't remember who did it, but I heard it one day and I'm like, no, this is that. No, this is not that song. Okay, but really cool.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that. I'm trying to remember which song Mr. Wells had us analyze in high school. But there was one about the war, whenever like World War I or II, I don't remember. But anyways, it was like breaking down. It's like, you sing these songs, but you sometimes don't think about the lyrics. So
Right.
actually to have it plain, and then we went through each lyric and kind of broke down what it meant. And I was like, that's a way I can learn history.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
That's a fun way to
Yeah.
learn it.
How many songs were there about the Vietnam War?
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah.
Right.
So very cool. All right, trivia questions. Who's got them today? Did you bring
Did you
any?
bring
I didn't bring any.
Okay.
No.
Not to
I
put you
have,
on the
I
spot.
I could
have-
come up with a few from last night, but that would be not trivial for
I
all
have
of you guys.
March trivia questions
Awesome.
about the month of
Okay.
March.
Okay, we
All
can
right.
handle this.
What is celebrated on March 17th?
Oh, St. Patrick's Day.
Exactly. My favorite Irish toast.
Right.
May you be half an hour in heaven, for the devil knows you're dead.
There
There you go. Sure. Slancha.
What begins on the second Sunday in March?
Oh, the time
happen this
change.
Oh,
weekend.
time change. Lent started last month, right?
That is, yes, it did.
Right.
That is this weekend, the time change.
I know.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Oh,
Spring forward. Don't forget to turn your clocks forward
I
on
know.
Saturday
I
night.
True
know.
or false? March is the only month in the English language with 3 consecutive consonants.
I don't know. I don't know that I can go through the
I
rest of the
know.
months that fast.
I'm going to say true.
That is true.
Okay.
That is true.
Because where would you come up with that as a
If it
thing if
was-
it was false?
right.
Yep.
Right.
About 1.5 million college-age students engage in travel for what event?
Spring break.
Yes. What NCAA men's and women's college basketball tournaments are held starting in mid-March?
March Madness.
Yes.
Oh, we are rocking this
We're
this morning.
good.
Now that I've
Yep.
said that.
I know we'll
Oops.
miss the rest.
Okay. In March of 1983, what Michael Jackson song was broadcast on MTV for the first time?
Oh, 1983?
From the Thriller album.
Thriller? That's all I got.
I'm thinking Thriller. Was it
Billie
Thriller?
Jean.
Oh, Billie Jean?
Billie
Okay,
Jean.
that was my next guess.
Yeah, mine
Thriller,
too.
Thriller came. You remember they had the big long extended
it was like a
version video
20-minute
for Thriller.
video or something. Yeah.
Wow.
That was like in October.
That was cool. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, when
Got my
MTV
months
used to
mixed up.
play,
I know when they
music
had videos.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to rush home after school, like get home on the bus, run inside, turn on MTV so I could watch Total
Right.
Request Live with
Yep.
Carson Daly, TRL.
I
They
remember.
played music videos.
Yeah.
I
I
loved
remember staying up till midnight to watch the MTV debut.
it. Oh, really?
Wow.
So they'd release it
Okay.
at midnight or
believe-
12:01 or
Yep.
whatever.
Wow.
Huh, very cool.
Yeah.
One of the earliest reality TV shows debuted on Fox in March of 1989. What was it?
What was the question?
89.
March.
March of 89.
Yeah.
This one of the first reality shows debuted
Reality.
on
Oh,
Fox.
man.
Bad Boys was the theme song.
Oh,
Cops.
yeah, Cops. There you
Yep.
go. There you go.
That was one of my favorite shows back in the day too.
Yeah.
Bad boys.
You just think, are you that stupid?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. You
March
deserve
of
to be arrested if you did that.
March of 1957. What 13.8-acre estate was sold for $102,500 to Elvis Presley?
Oh, I was actually thinking Graceland.
There you go.
Before he even said
It
Elvis
is
Presley.
Graceland. It is
Hey.
Graceland. What famous doll debuted in March of 1953?
Barbie.
Barbie?
Look at us.
I know, you guys are killing it.
Right?
What popular show starring Miley Cyrus premiered on the Disney Channel in March of 2006?
Hannah Montana.
All right. In Celtic folklore,
Uh-oh. This is
Okay.
going to be you probably.
Maybe.
what were leprechauns responsible for? Not hiding the pot of gold.
Right? All right.
Not making cereal magically delicious.
Yeah. What else is there?
I think they were just mischievous, but I don't
I
remember for
know.
sure.
Mending the shoes of the other fairies.
Okay.
No.
Who'd
I had
know?
no idea.
No, I never would have gotten
Who'd
that.
have
No.
known? All right. True or false? The first St. Patrick's Day parade was held in Ireland.
I'm going to say false.
Me too.
It is false. It was in the U.S.
I believe
In
it.
Florida.
in
I think.
Florida?
I
How-
believe so. I would have
Oh.
thought it was Chicago.
Well, yeah.
But
I mean,
I
I think
do
it was
love the
Florida.
Completely.
green, the green river.
Yep.
But how? I mean, going back to the, we want to make everything as commercialized as possible,
Right.
make as much money off of it as possible. Of course, the United States was the first one to
Yeah.
turn
Right.
it into a Hallmark holiday, as
Yeah.
you may say.
Right.
How can
Right.
we get people to spend more money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a final question, and this is pretty easy. What meal has become a St. Patrick's Day staple?
Corned beef,
And
cabbage.
Cabbage,
Cabbage.
yep.
Yep.
No,
I know, not
can't do
really my
it.
thing.
I can do the corned beef because I slap it on rye bread with Swiss cheese.
Yeah.
You know,
See, and I can do the cabbage, but
I can't do the cooked cabbage.
Right. No, I'm Irish of descent, and so I try to find some way to make St. Patrick's Day Irish for my
Right.
family. What I finally settled on is green pancakes. That's just,
Hey,
that's
That's
just,
as Irish.
I even try
wrong
and get
with
them
that.
into like shamrock shapes. I can't even do that. So hey, back to my lack of cooking skills.
Speaking
But
of
yeah,
We're on-
St.
yeah.
Patrick's Day,
Yeah.
where are the McDonald's Shamrock Shakes at?
they don't have them right now.
I don't
oh.
know.
Okay,
I haven't seen
it.
any commercials or anything
Well,
for them.
Dairy
this year.
Queen has a mint
Yes.
blizzard.
Do they?
You
Okay.
could do that.
And I think McDonald's, I go through a lot. I get Diet Cokes.
Right.
My kids love Happy Meals. But I think they do have it on there.
Oh, they do? Okay.
I've never ordered it because I'm like, what is a Shamrock Shake? It
It's
gives
green.
no, I know. But what's the flavor? Is it pistachio?
no,
is
it's
it
kind of a-
vanilla?
It's
Is
mint,
it
isn't it?
Kind of
mint?
a mint.
Like mint vanilla.
But like, can I get more details than just Shamrock Shake? You
Can
know?
I get a sample,
That's all
please?
you need to know.
Yeah.
No, it's not. It's not. I'm not really a sweets person anyway. So, like I said, I'll get my Diet Coke and maybe some French fries because carbs for life,
yeah.
man. You know,
Yep.
carbs.
Yep.
for
Just
life.
with just the exact amount. McDonald's French fries are made to be the exact amount of melt and salt and
yes.
sugar to give
But
you
they gotta be
to give
fresh.
you a high. To
Yeah.
They
give you a
gotta
high.
be fresh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
fresh
you
ones.
can't. I
Yeah.
mean, if they've been hanging out in a
Nah.
for even like 10 minutes.
Yeah, you can tell.
Right.
I had
Just give me fresh.
Yeah.
I had a friend that actually loved salt, but she would always order them without salt, so she could get a fresh batch.
Yep.
It's like,
Yep.
I mean, I
Genius.
like it.
Genius.
I like it.
Right.
But also, I've been a server and worked in restaurants, and I'd be like, I would not like you.
Yeah, right. Might serve you a sneezer or
Yeah,
something.
right. I've never actually done that. Disclaimer.
Right, I
but,
know, me too. Well, never intentionally.
Right. All right. Well, that is all the time we have for today. I really enjoyed chatting with you,
Yes,
Debbie.
me too.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me. This was
Thank you
fun.
for joining us. We'll probably get you back on soon if
Sounds
you don't
awesome.
care. But,
Sure.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And don't forget to join us on Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. with special guest, Coach Jeremy Ellis from the Bobcat softball team. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, RJ on the Air, and help us spread the word about our bi-weekly podcast now. So thank you again. I hope everyone has a beautiful day in Fairfield.
See ya.
See you
Bye.
Tuesday.